as Nixotica, of course, a veteran in the scene as well. Fagley as well, played the Challenger League as well back in the days. And then Henken and Hergem, still new names, especially Hergem for me. I haven't really seen him in too many competitions so far, but they doing a fantastic job so far. So this is coming into play. Greece, France, USA, Brazil, and China. So very much different pick order in comparison to the big matches.
Yeah, I'm very happy to not see a game start off on China, and very excited to see more of Greece. It is one of my favorite maps in the map pack, Brazil being, I think, my favorite of the maps we're playing. But ultimately, I think all of these maps are great fun to watch, and that's the most important part of the entire ordeal here. I am expecting a nice close match, some upsets, some tight spots, and I'm hoping that I'm hoping maybe map 5.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, Greece and France, pace maps, and taking a look onto the just Greece performance from Halcyon, top 19 when it comes to teams, best 113.80. And then we have Piwo, top 24, best time 114.03. Median, though, only 1/10 away from both of those teams, and they played a lot of rounds on this map as well. 46 rounds for Halcyon and 32 rounds for Piwo. So sample size, of course, still plays a role in those little rounds, so it's really hard to say that. But I think like this map is very close, especially due to the median. I think that's already a good takeaway because, as we already said, if you have the world record on a map, well, that's cool, that's nice, but can you repeatedly do that? That is really the question. And I think already a very good start for Piwo, because Halcyon, they're definitely not safe on this one, for sure, and could be a good pickup for Piwo as well, because then 2 map picks with France and USA coming into play after that. But USA also looked very good for the team of USA.
Yeah, on a map, though, like our opening map here, which is going to be Greece, and especially in Division 2, you've also got to kind of look at that DNF stat, or rather, those crashes. That identity is deadly. And I mean, if there's any identity in this map pack that's seen the most fails from players, it either go to France or Greece.
But it's still like both teams are so close to each other just in the rankings. Like it's 19th, 24th on map number 1. Then we see 17th, 21st on map 2, 18th, 22nd, 20th, 21st, and then 21st, 22nd again. So this match is very close. And most of the time, it is Piwo who is ahead. Only on this map, it is Halcyon who's ahead in the ranking in there. But it's very deceiving. It could be over within 4 rounds. But here we go, Halcyon versus Piwo. I think we're going to go to map 5 here. Would be an absolute clown fiesta to see everything being decided on China. But really a team, Piwo, who has been putting a lot of effort into the circuit. And it really shows they did their homework, as opposed to some other teams that have maybe not been practicing too much. But let's go into the first round. Nixotica with a very wide approach, already a bit further behind, but coming back very nicely before the ice slide.
Yeah, and here we can see that those teams still tied up, though Hergem. I do believe Hergem, I think both Piwo players a little bit more experienced, maybe even on ice. We see Hergem go in the lead through that ice slide, but the first big staircase is going to see Fagley catching up. Oh, and I think that's Hergem with a crash there as he goes too wide, which means all of a sudden Henken now in a position to try and defend those crucial points there, going the way of Halcyon. Henken is going to be able to overtake thanks to a mistake coming out from Fagley here, and we're going to be heading towards that identity.
Yeah, Nixotica with a very good outside line. I mean, he comes from a dirt background. He's a very good dirt player, but Henken is fighting very nice back here as he gets a good entry into the staircase. But Fagley and Nixotica there to pick up the torch from a conservative line in there, and they will get the ace on this opening round here. 114.339. So definitely not a bad time, all things considered, because we have seen some mistakes. Puts them right in front of the median time. So good pickup there from Halcyon in this particular round, and that is a good way to start off on their first mapping. And what was that start here from Hergem? Yeah, that was a speech bubble moment. He is having maybe some tech problems, but he's very far behind. Not sure if we get a round skip. There you go.
Okay, so the round skip sort of saving that big mistake there. Technical difficulties from the Halcyon player. Nexotica, I think. Sorry, I need to clean my sticks. I'm not getting 100% steering angle.
Okay, what?
Guys, as an ice player, I can tell you one thing for certain. Go into your settings, set your analog controller sensitivity to a value slightly above 1. That way, when you're full steering, you're definitely gonna get that full steer.
It's hard though, isn't it?
It's a very important trick.
Because then you have like a different, like you steer more when you steer less kind of thing, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like the controller can be dirty, so no stick drift, but no PF section on this map either. I mean, rotations can be cancelled on some of those maps very awkwardly if you steer like 1% or even just marginally. And Exotica, you can see at the start, he's just steering and checking it out if the controller works for him. As this was, of course, a very good start for the blue team now. Let's see if they can pick up the pace. Of course, the momentum will not be transferred into the next round due to that extensive pause and also the tech break from Nexotica. So maybe that was also the reason why Hanken didn't start. But yeah, here you go. Nexotica doing some clearing and cleaning, and I hope he can drive cleanly afterwards as well. So
yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be important that both teams going to be playing to the best of their ability, and that it's not a technical difficulty holding them back here. But still, despite the technical difficulty, Halcyon scoring an early ace, opening up their first map pick with a humongous lead. No doubt due to big mistakes coming from the way of Piwo here. We have had readies in chat. We're just waiting for the match admin to resume the match. It's gonna just take a moment. Just bear with us. Bear with us for a moment here.
Yeah, just restart the game. Do it. But yeah, we're gonna be live very soon again. And I mean, Halcyon with a beautiful start. I mean, as good as it gets, an ace that is very good. And Hergam and Hanken both with individual mistakes there. Also not the cleanest of identities there, I think from Hanken it was. But here we go, we're resuming the match. It's still 3-0. Only one round has been played so far. Piwo definitely has to do some work though on this, on those remaining rounds. And let's see if they can bounce back. But I already said this is a map that favors Halcyon. They are ahead, but Piwo looking very good on the maps coming up after that. So already like a must pick up for Fegli and Exotica.
Yeah, and this second round is going to be, as you said, so important. They need to be able to grab some big points here as soon as possible, close out that huge gap Halcyon has put down in the first round, and his first staircase definitely is going the way of Piwo at the moment, with Exotica having fallen behind quite a considerable margin, but nothing that he's not going to be able to catch up. We're heading into the NASCAR section here, but with the Piwo players up ahead, Henkan has to release twice, and Fegli's going to go wide, so this speed tech drift, oh wow, Hergam's really going to be pushing that, and yeah, once again, it's going to be decided in a big way by this ending identity here in just a moment. All the players still reasonably close to each other, but the Piwo team in the advantage as we head on to the identity. Oh, and that's going to be looking very sketchy. Henkan's going to be falling all the way behind. Hergam manages to save it. It's going to be staying up in first place. A 1:13.8 is a very nice time.
Yeah, Hergam with a great ending there. Hanken again struggling to find a good entry point in there. Nexotica and Fegli able to pick up the pieces, at least denying a victory on ace to Piwo here, and they're still ahead 4-1 here. And let's go on to round number 2 and see who makes the mistake first. Hergam almost clipping the hole there, but still getting a great line there. Fegli and Exotica also there to deal some damage, and also great drift there from the blue side, finding themselves in the battle with Hergam, but also Hanken not too far behind. A very evenly distributed match here, also considering the last round where we've seen just so little room between the players. Only 0.3 going into the last checkpoint. Now Hanken is falling a bit behind and also has no speed in the first staircase sector, but his teammate has him covered. He's in the battle with Fegli.
Yeah, and it seems like Halcyon is definitely looking to build that lead, and the only one standing in between them and continuing to build their score lead is currently Hergam, who is finding himself in second place position, has to try and battle it out with Fegli through the identity. But that identity, of course, is a scary one. It can cause you a ton of time. Let's see if Hergam can manage.
Nixotica.
Nixotica with a mistake and has to respawn. So I think all of a sudden the draw position has turned around. And if Hergam can even overtake Feckley with a snipe, it's going to be a victory going the way of Piwo. 4-1 out of Sorry. 3-5. Oh my god, math. All of a sudden, the victory for Piwo coming in there rather unexpectedly. Halcyon not able to hold on. The consistency on the ending is not quite there, and that's kind of what I was talking about. That ending section, the identity on this map is just that brutal.
Yeah, it is. It looks deceivingly easy to do, but then you play it on your own. You're like, yeah, well, I have to have speed. I need to predict the turns, but you have so little time to react to that. I'm really a fan of this one. It has a bit of an RPG touch to it, but even the map beforehand is just so long. I mean, 1 minute and 13 seconds is the world record on this map, and this is just so long to play. 10 seconds longer than the other maps that we have in the map pack. And now we have Feckley with a great start. Hanken and Hergam are not too far behind though, but they're getting applied a lot of pressure from Nixotico. Gets a very good NASCAR turn in this sector, but now we see the first mistake there from Hanken going into the wall, and this could be the ace for Nixotica and Feckley if Hergam is not able to get something in the ending. A draw would be so important, but Nixotica also struggling to find a good exit from that third section. Feckley also clipping the hole. I was seeing that one from Maitsuwin, and Hergam also with a good approach there. Will it be enough for a draw, or will it be a victory for Halcyon? I think it will be the victory because Nixotica stays ahead and Hergam still getting a good ending, but it's not enough. Feckley stays out of Hanken, and Halcyon only one ace away of winning their first map.
Yeah, and that was a clean identity from all 4 players, which was quite impressive to see, and especially considering we're in Division 2, the pace that these players are showing has been quite good. I mean, we've seen 113.8s here already, which is much faster than you would be expecting out of a Division 2 match, potentially. Yeah, Halcyon, their first track point attempt, 7-4, an ace would do it for them. Piwo has to try and catch up soon as possible. 3 points is a huge mountain of points to try and surmount. Nixotica is finding himself in 4th place position though, and so it might be Piwo's time to shine here, try to get up into the lead there. Feckley is going to be the one to defend, to try and defend that. We're heading into the NASCAR turn here, which means we're getting closer to the identity. I think you're already mentally preparing. The tech drift goes well. Feckley still in the mix.
Yeah, Feckley's still in the mix here, but it is he's still fighting for survival here because Hanken could get their second position. So risky there, having to oversteer so much. Also Hergam, and it really is like the entry. It looks so easy when someone like Granadi does it, but you can really see like every millimeter that you just are off the line. It's so important. And Feckley stays ahead there in the ending. Very important to deny the victory to Piwo. So it is still 3 points between them, and now we go into maybe the last round if Halcyon can finally get themselves an ace.
Yeah, I mean, Halcyon doesn't even need an ace anymore at this point. A victory will do it. They are also going to be happy with a draw. In fact, I think they'd even be happy with a Piwo win, because no matter what happens, either they win or they're at 9 points. The only thing that they cannot let happen is a Piwo ace. That would put Piwo right up there with them at 8 points. And, well, at that point, it's anyone's game.
Yeah, it can be anyone's game here if Piwo is finding the ace here. I mean, it could be 8-8, but Hanken now too far behind in this round here. Hergam is fighting back very nicely. Very good approach here, but even 1 point for Halcyon would be insane in this particular round. Feckley so wide, they're having overspeed, able to clear that drift very nicely as well, but the first mistake happens now in this round. It is Nixotica who falls behind, so Hergam and Hanken can finally find themselves that victory, but if so, it will be the last round after that. 9-7 means that we have only 1 more round being played out, and Piwo needs to find an ace there. So very important for Feckley to get that first position here, but it will not be enough. And also Hanken not capitalizing on a poor line there. It will be a 9-7 scoreline. It is ace or bust for Piwo.
Yeah, and I mean, I kind of said Halcyon is always also going to be happy with a Piwo win because it's going to put them at 9 points anyways. The only thing Halcyon has to do this round is get a player into 2nd place, and Hanken is going to make that extra simple. The big mistake on the start means not only does Hergum have to get first place, they also have to hope for a mistake from the side of Halcyon, which is, I think, more of a Hail Mary than anything else. Hergum is able to keep that lead here as we head into the first staircase, and is going to be entering it with more speed, meaning he's going to be building it. So it's not going to matter, though, if no Halcyon player makes any big mistakes. And so Hergum might just only be racing this one for, to be able to
Cosmetics.
save. Yep.
Never mind.
And never mind. With that mistake, it's going to promote both of the Halcyon players up into ace formation.
I mean, 10-8 would sound a bit better than 12-7. I mean, 12-7 still very close, but 10-8 is always like, oh yeah, this match was so close. But really, like, a lot of teams, or both teams, were really struggling with that identity here, especially with the entry, and Hergum and Fagley just doing that one right now. And Exotica getting first, so it doesn't matter what happens in the back. Let's see who gets that second position. It is Henken. Fagley getting third. Hergum still limping into the ending, but it will be a victory. So it is 11-8 instead of a 12-7 victory for Halcyon, picking up their first win on this particular match. I mean, we were expecting it from the stats. It was only 0.1 of a million difference. And now we go to map number 2, which will be France. And here, median-wise, Piwo is 0.15 faster than Halcyon, and the best time is also 0.2 faster, 107.7 flats it is, and I think Piwo has the upper hand here, so that's why they have picked this one.
Yeah, I mean, their first map pick might as well be their best shot, and in a game that's this close against two teams that are so equally matched, you've got to just pick your best maps first, and if that was Halcyon's best map, then Piwo is a real contender to try and beat them out here, and I could very much see that happening still, despite Halcyon going into the lead early here with winning the first map. Now, France coming in, I think it's going to be a bit of a similar story as with Greece, where the identity is going to be a big deciding factor of big rounds where mistakes are going to be happening. I don't think we're going to see as many no slides through the dirt section, but I do think we're going to be seeing people go for the riskier line on the identity, and that might just be what does some of these players in. We see people sometimes even struggling with that in Division 1, so it's very much not unrealistic to say that.
Yeah, definitely. I've been watching the match between Piwo and BS Plus competition when we were off stream, because the big matches only, like the first one, only took half an hour. Was really like, it was just a clown fiesta at the end. Really, there were so many mistakes and everything can happen there. So just getting it consistent down the line is very, very important. And I think the players do know that as well, but it's so hard because you have to react so quick to those consecutive jumps. It's not easy to do, especially that risky line where you want to catch like just any sort of drifting angle. You really want to get all of that speed. You want to jump low, and then, yeah, you have to really decide within just a couple of milliseconds. And now we see Exotica with the first mistake, having to respawn twice here, and it is a good shot for Hergum and Henken to pick up the first victory and maybe even ace.
Yeah, and they would be very, very happy to go into an early lead here on their first map pick. They need to respond to that map win from Halcyon as soon as possible, and this might just be the way to do it. Piwo currently in an ace formation as we head towards the identity, with Fagley very, very much within striking distance. He is just down the exhaust ports of both of the Piwo players, and with a fast entry and a respawn from Henken, all of a sudden, he's going to be turning it around. A big mistake coming out from Hergum, but Fagley has to respawn. And you said clown fiesta earlier. Here it is, Hergum.
What is that? It's an ace.
Somehow, what?
Good rounds, good round, everybody. GG's.
A 110.9 and a 115.
1010, by the way.
Yeah, nets them an ace. I'm just gonna.
The time is not 1822, it's 1782, guys. And he just drove a 1010.
We're gonna leave that uncommented. Let's just go into next round and forget this one happened.
Yeah, this was like, I was not overstating that this map is a clown fiesta. 110 winning time here, just almost 4 seconds away from the world record. So this was really something. But Piwo, most importantly, they picked up the ace.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, it doesn't really matter how you did it if at the end of the round you've got those 3 points, and they're gonna be happy about that one at the very least. Up in the lead against Halcyon, which is gonna be so
wow,
important. That mistake from Fegli. Hergam finding himself up in first place position right now. Exotica still within striking distance, but Fegli missing some speed there. Is going to be falling even further behind, but he's definitely not out of the race here. We've seen what this identity can do. Let's see if they can get it clean this time. First transition looking clean for all 4 players. Second transition looking a little sketchy for the Piwo guys, as Exotica is all of a sudden finding himself up in the lead. Fegli making a push, and it's going to be a victory for Halcyon, and almost an ace. If you look at that time, 0.02 away from sniping Hankan there and counter-acing, that would have been so huge for them.
That was the complete opposite in comparison to the first round. That was amazing from all the players there. Just slight mistakes come into play there from Hergam and Hankan, and Fegli also with an amazing ending, almost getting that ace across. Still Piwo in the lead though. It's 2-4 in favor for the red team, but Exotica and Fegli picking up the pieces, showing they're still here. They can win this map, but they need to capitalize on those kind of rounds and maybe get that ace next time. But look at the round now. Hergam and Hankan, both of them an amazing start in this sector, but now it is Hankan's teammate with a mistake, Hergam falling behind. So now this is the opportunity for the blue team to get that ace.
Yeah, and it's gonna be coming down once again to mistakes here as Fegli is gonna be getting some sort of landing bug. I didn't quite catch what that was, but he's gonna be falling behind his teammate as well as Hankan. And so Hankan, and Exotica is gonna be crashing it big time. So Hankan is now just gonna be cruising this into first place as smoothly as he can, and then just hoping that his teammate Hergam might be able to overtake any of the Halcyon players. I don't see that realistically happening, as Exotica is gonna be heading into the finish line here, and Hergam just finishing out in 4th place. But it's gonna be a draw, and Piwo is able to keep their lead 3-5. It seems like Piwo is going to be able to, just edge out a victory here on their first map pick. However, they've still got quite a ways to go, and they're only halfway through. We've seen that Halcyon can definitely put down the pace they need to win. However, it's just kind of come down to those big mistakes, not just in the identity, but in the map overall.
Actually, I think I confused the teams beforehand because it was Vabena, I think, playing against BS Plus and not Piwo. But yeah, I think both teams of them, like just mentioning them and also seeing away British and Chad, like really both of those teams with an amazing development in this season. They just playing outstandingly, and this is really what you want to see, like from teams that are just up and coming, maybe playing one of their like first few competitions in a circuit like this. So this is very good to see, and Hankan and Hergam with a very good development, especially Hergam, who I haven't really heard of too much beforehand. Very good performance, and now we see Fegli in the lead as Hergam and Hankan are not too far behind, but Exotica with a mistake, Hankan also with a clip, and Fegli will win this round, even though he's quite slow there but doesn't clip there. So will be another draw, heavily advantageous for Piwo though, but also Halcyon only 2 aces away of winning this map as well.
Yeah, and well, running out of time is sort of the theme right now. Draw after draw after draw, but ultimately, if you're Piwo, you already have that lead, and so you're gonna be comfortable just getting draw after draw after draw, but a draw is always a volatile position, because if you know your teammate is in 4th and you know you have to get 1st place, you're gonna be pushing more and you're gonna be more prone to mistakes, and it's not really a situation you want to be finding yourself in frequently. Ideally, you just want to always try to be in a victory position, if not even an ace formation. But you, of course, can't always have that. You're not driving this one alone. Your opponents are on the racetrack as well, and they're trying to do the same thing. Exotica actually isn't trying to do the same thing, as he's going to be respawning.
Yeah, and Exotica really struggling on this map, but he really relies on Fagley in those last couple of rounds. I think 2 or 3 mistakes were coming into play from Exotica here. Now we see Hergum with a mistake and Fagley as well. Hergum still clearing that speed check, and this is a beautiful opportunity for Piwo. They know that they are clear like by 4 to 5 seconds. They just need to save the ending here, but easier said than done. Don't lose your momentum, and Henken clipping, but it's still enough for him to survive. Hergum getting it very nicely. So this is indeed the ace for the red team. Henkel makes sure to jump very far up there, and they get it across. Very important. It's 4-9, and well, Halcyon was in striking distance, but now they need 2 aces in a row to win this map. Piwo looking to win their first map in the series.
Yeah, and I don't really see Halcyon coming back from this one, especially the way Exotica and Fagley as well has been playing. It's not really their map. Most evidently, Piwo has done their homework and picked the right choice for their first map pick in order to tie up the score line here in just a moment. And unless Halcyon can get an ace, it's done and dusted. Piwo is going to be gaining a point 1-1 would then of course be the total scoreline, but we're not in the finish yet, so I'm surprised if Halcyon can pull it off, but it seems like Piwo is going to be finding themselves in the lead right now.
Yeah, Piwo in the lead, and this is looking really good, but keep in mind they only need 1 player to be squeezed in between Exotica and Fagley. A second position would be enough. Henken not with a good line. Hergum also with a mistake, so Exotica and Fagley, they can do it here, but Henken with a great approach in this sector. We see Fagley, no, Exotica also clipping there, dropping a lot of time, but we have seen the ending unfolding. It seems sometimes a bit random who's gonna survive it because players are just pushing it so much, and also now Exotica with good speed. Henken is getting it nicely, but Exotica's trailing behind. So important to deny the second position to Henken. And Henken also clipping there. They were almost there, but we go into a 9-7 situation. If Fagley and Exotica do it again, well, they also win map number 2.
Double aces needed for Halcyon, and those big mistakes from Piwo at the end, securing the first of the 2 that they need for that to make that happen. But Halcyon is still ace or bust, as Piwo is 1 point away from winning their first track point. Henken going oh so wide, but it does net him a second place position for the moment, so it wasn't too much. It was just the right amount of going wide. No slides here coming in. I believe I might have seen that wrong, but you know, Turbo will surely correct me on that. Piwo in ace formation as we head into this edge dirt turn, and this can be a deciding factor. No one's going to be going too wide, but Exotica saving it just a little bit. The transition is coming in, and Piwo is looking good to finally close out this map.
Yeah, very good performance here from Henken and Hergum. They really want to close it out. Now 2 players are in the top here, as the Exoticas have a second behind, but they still need to survive those quarter pipes here. But it's looking good, as it is Henken, or maybe half pipes if you say it like that. Fagley with a great ending, and he will get first, but it doesn't matter since Hergum and Henken go hand in hand into the ending, and it will be a draw. Piwo wins their first map pick, and this was a bit closer than anticipated after the ace from Halcyon. And now we're gonna go to USA, another good map that favors Piwo slightly, but if we take a look onto the median, it is 0.6 faster than the median from Halcyon, so another great map for Piwo.
Yeah, USA is of course a more consistent map, especially at ending is not quite the difficult part. I think the difficult part on USA is going to be coming in once we get to that flick. The ice into the dirt flick is very tricky. It's deceptive, and I think most players will have experienced what a dirt flick with icy wheels is like. It really does feel like something's just suddenly pulling you around a corner. And you've got to then use that one, and depending on how much you're pushing, get through a very tight margin of error.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it also really depends on how inside you really go in that sector, because there's also barriers to avoid. And if you just clip one of them, well, you lose so much speed. Sometimes you can even land up in, like, just in the barriers beneath or just below the map or just beyond it, because the car also grips only till a certain angle. If you oversteer too much, well, the car says bye-bye and will just fly out of the map. So very hard to do this particular part. And then we have the ending, which already has been used in Trackmania Grand League 2021. It was the very first map. I really had to dig deep for that one because this map was only played once, if I recall it correctly, because it was the very first map of the winter split of the TMGL 2021 season, and it was also Mura's first map in the Trackmania Grand League, where he got, I think, 15th or 16th, so second to last or last position. But he has come a long way, and maybe Hergam and Hanken can do the same, because they have been going through a very nice development here, and Hanken also with a very good start. So what really looks like a map for Hergam and Hanken right now confirms myself. Like, this thesis is just confirming itself. They're looking good.
Yeah, I mean, definitely so far it seems like the map picks are totally correct. So far, the first two maps, everyone winning their map picks. Piwo, overall, is somewhat a prevalent team in the ice community, and so overall I think because most ice players are going to have a bit more experience with those icy wheel dirt flicks, I think that's where their advantage on this map is going to come in. It's going to be an O-slide from Fegli, and all of a sudden a good position for Halcyon turns into a draw position is what I was about to say, but all of a sudden Hergam managing to snipe that first place position away, an early lead going the way of Piwo at the hands of their victory 2-1. But yeah, you were saying you think that Piwo has the upper hand. I think so as well on this map at the very least, not just because of the medium pace, but also just I think that really important icy wheel dirt flick is gonna be one where Piwo is just gonna be slightly better.
Yeah, but Hergam misjudges the turn there, the jump. It's a bit awkward to do because you still have icy tires attached to your car just beforehand, so it makes it ever so slightly awkward to just adjust it. And we see Hanken only alone here against Fegli and Nixotica, so the shot for the blue team to make something out of it. Good approach from Hanken though in this sector, and look at the exit speed as well here, beautifully executed, getting a bit of airtime there and a bit of drift movement to his car, and he will be out of the conversation. So it is Fegli now in the lead, who has been making that mistake right here in the round beforehand, but now he gets it so clean. So this could even be a 0.0 or maybe a 0.9 from him, but no, he fails the ending, and Hanken barely stays away 27 thousandths of a second. It's 3-3. So Hergam, due to that mistake at the start, doesn't play any significant role, but Hanken denying the ace. So at least that is something.
Yeah, tied up score 3-3 heading into round number 3 on map number 3. Lots of threes coming in here. So let's hope that the next thing coming in is not 3 points going either way. Either team's way. But that would be thematic, and I think I just broke my tongue saying the 3 so many times.
And
so,
now say Hergam and Hanken very fast after each other. Yeah, that's also really, like someone said, it's really a mouthful. It's so hard to really like say those names. It's crazy, really.
At least say them fast. But well, we're in a little bit of a Piwo sandwich. Hergam and Hanken are going to be securing the first and fourth place positions for the time being as we head into the flick here.
Yeah, the dirt flick, very important to do, and it is Nixotica who has been falling behind and didn't get a good exit from that turn, so Hergam and Hanken can go back up into the lead, but Fegli's ending beforehand was just amazing. Let's see if he can do it again. He has been making a mistake here as well, getting a nose-slide, and he does it again, but Hanken as well, and it will be Nixotica taking the turn here, but this could have been the ace for Piwo, but instead it's 1 point as a small gift here to Halcyon, maybe because the map is USA, and both players are from the United States. Who knows? But Piwo still on the lead, but it could have been a 6-3, but it's 4-5, so still Halcyon in striking distance. Yeah, but this no-slide is happening so often, also to the players in Division 1.
Yeah, I mean, they're just trading wins right now. which, you know, you can keep going if this is going the way that, or if this keeps going the way it has been, then Halcyon is going to be taking home a victory. But, well, you know, as I say that, Nixotica is trying to figure out just how much how much lower he can jump, and I can confidently say that was too low, as he's going to be hitting the side of the quarter pipe jump. Meaning he's going to be far, far behind. This flick might just be able to swap up the positions. Hergum with a sketchy entry, which is going to promote Fegley into the first place position, and we're heading towards the identity. If Piwo wants to keep their lead, they can keep this position or overtake.
Yeah, and Fegley has been making those mistakes here in the past, but now he gets it so good. What a great apex there from Fegley, and it will be the draw. Oh, okay. Henken doesn't have to respawn. Nixotica wasn't too far behind, doesn't fall off of the scaffolding, and it will be a draw. Piwo 4 points away, but really this match feels like a marathon. I mean, we're almost 40 minutes into this match, and we're still on map number 3, and we're not even remotely close of being done, because I think we're still at least gonna see 2 to 3 more rounds of this map.
Yeah, I mean, most certainly we are. The way it's been going, I don't see either team having the upper hand here, and you know, I still very much think this can go either way. We haven't seen an ace happen yet, and I think if we were to see one, it's gonna be popping up anytime soon, and thus also deciding who is going to be the one to win this map. This round is definitely seeing the potential leaning more towards Piwo, as it's Nixotica defending first place from both Hergum and Henken. Through the flick, Fegley finding his tracking, his footing a little bit as well, which means we're going to be heading into that identity here with all 4 players, wheel to wheel. Nixotica and Hergum and Fegley and Henken are going to be battling it out. Henken with a no slide, Nixotica with a no slide. Hergum is going to be up in the lead, and it seems like if no one can snipe, no, it's a victory for Piwo. Nixotica trying to go for the push there at the end to try and overtake, secure the draw, maybe something better, but it's not quite there, and that's a victory for Piwo. Track points 8-6.
Yeah, and what an ending there from Nixotica. He could have just claimed that draw, but he, he wanted to turn favor after Halcyon just got 1 point in that round where Piwo guaranteedly could get that ace. Well, now they just turning the favor, just sportsman-like. Of course, that's not the case. It's just so hard to do this particular ending section. But now Piwo only 1 victory away of winning this map. Hergum going very wide in this sector. Fegley with the low jump, and he has good speed accumulated in this sector here as well. Nixotica still in there, having to oversee a lot. Well, it's hard to control that turn after that. And it's another close round here. Tobler, as you can see, will Piwo able to find at least 1 point and then apply a lot of pressure onto Halcyon?
Yeah, and these last few Neoslide turns are going to be the deciding factor of this one. Fegley falling behind Hergum. Hergum with good speed. Henken in 3rd place position. It's looking like Piwo's going to be able to close it out unless there's a snipe, and they're going to be able to do just that. Piwo closing out their 2nd map pick with a victory. 2 points going their way, and Piwo all of a sudden find themselves in the lead. So as we're heading on to map number 4 here, Halcyon's 2nd pick, it seems like Halcyon are the ones playing this one from behind. Let's go take a quick look at a few of those replays. I see we have a lot of those mistakes happening in these last few Neo slides. They're so tricky, and no slide is so easy to catch you off guard. And despite usually being known for less mistakes and a less volatile sort of ending, this round has sort of shown that it can go another way. We're going to be heading here onto Brazil, which is definitely a much more difficult one.
Yeah, I mean, I would really say that as well. So I think everything can happen on this particular map, but also great time there from Piwo. 0.144, only 500s away from their best time. So great match there from Piwo. And the stats didn't lie there as well. I mean, Piwo has won against Halcyon, maybe also due to that better median. Let's take a look into the stats here, because it's the top 20 team versus the top 21 team. 104.5 is the best time from Piwo and also from Halcyon, and the median now goes in favor for Team Halcyon. So if the stats are like 100% accurate, I mean, it's a 46 and 56 round sample size. We should see a very close win for Halcyon, but I think the momentum is definitely on Pivo's side here, and it already comes down who gets most consistent rounds here, who gets the better entries into the hover sectors where you can really zoom away just from the track. You just have to avoid those watery wheels, and this will all just come down to that. But Pivo with a back-to-back victory now, they only need one more map to close out this match.
Yeah, Pivo has been surprisingly consistently throughout the run of Split 1 here, and this one also a little bit surprising to me. I did see Halcyon in the lead at this point, but Pivo has just done it once again, 2-1, heading on to Halcyon's second map pick. Halcyon has to catch up and hopefully take this to the decider map, but Pivo, of course, they'd prefer closing it out here. We're heading into the first little water section there. Hanken is going very, very tight. It's going to be netting him the first place position for now, but it's a Pivo sandwich and it is a draw position. Fegli and Exotica trying their best to catch up to the Pivo player here, and it seems like Fegli is just going to be able to overtake as we head towards that oh so difficult identity.
Yeah, the identity has really been very hard. We have seen a lot of different approaches here in this sector. Fegli still in the lead, Hergam and Henken not too far behind though, but we see Henken falling a bit further behind here, and it could be the ace for Halcyon. Oh, and Exotica barely makes it across here, so very important to get that ace. And Halcyon with a beautiful start on this map, and I think if this continues like that, well, Halcyon will force map number 5, which would of course be China. So this will be absolute cinema, but for that it's still a long way to go. Pivo, they can still close it out here if they get a lot of good points here, but that is of course a dream start for the blue team.
Yeah, of course. I mean, kind of doing what they did on their first map pick, starting it off with an early ace. Pivo is thus now forced to respond, and I think they're preparing their speech right now as they are in that ace formation, but they've got to keep it alive for the rest of the map. We're just about halfway through, and we're going to be heading towards the plastic wall right here. It can be deceptively difficult, but, you know, I don't see anyone here making big mistakes. I believe Henkan might have clipped just a little bit. Fegli's going to be hitting the checkpoint, and now it's going to be coming down to that identity. If Pivo can respond here with a counter ace, Nixotica is on the defense right now. The Pivo players looking to push it here. Last turn is coming in, and it's a counter ace going the way of Pivo.
Wow,
Ooh.
What an ending there from Henken. Also, Nixotica still on track there. You could have seen he was really trying to push it, but he couldn't get through the rocks there. But Pivo with the counter ace, and that was so important. That was so good, because I really thought, oh yeah, this map really goes to Halcyon. But getting that ace shows that they have the pace, what it takes to beat Nixotica and Fegli. Fegli with the fastest PBs from the players. And also, let's talk about win rates here real quick. 18% for Nixotica, 31% for Fegli, and then 45% win rate for Hergam. What an absolute mad lad here. So absolute outstanding performance from the Frenchman, and Fegli also with a double respawn by the looks of it. Nixotica nowhere to be seen. He's so far ahead, but he still needs to clear the ending. He has Henken and Hergam behind him. Henken not with the best of lines, also clips there in this plastic section, but Hergam goes for the attack. He wants to push up his win rate a bit further beyond the 50%, but Nixotica, I think, is there to deny him, so it could be another draw unless Nixotica fumbles the ending, which could happen, but it will not be enough. It is a draw eventually.
Yeah, there it goes. The draw secured, and the scoreline going 4-4. 2 aces for either team to close this out. We've seen 2 of them already. However, 2 aces going either team's way. So, yeah, we can definitely still make this a 4-round map if we really, really wanted to, but I'm hoping the players are not going to be doing that to us. We're heading into the next round, and the scoreline It's tied up. Map 4, 4-4, round number 4. I feel like I've been
Again.
before.
It's a pattern, right? We already had that on map 3 here, but Halcyon really want to move up to 7 points themselves here. Fegley with an outstanding start, going very wide there to accumulate a lot of speed here. No one zooping away from this sector. Everybody getting a very, very good angle into this section. And Fegley, again, nowhere to be seen in comparison, like in the previous round where we have seen Nixotica just moving away from the others. Now Hergum coming back. He's really the man of this match here, the player to beat, and he is applying a lot of pressure onto Halcyon, who are now in the lead. But look at the nose side from the Frenchman, finding himself in that top battle, even going into the lead here. But the question is, what is Hanken doing? Is Hanken somewhat in the race here? The answer is a no, but who's gonna get first position? Will it be Hergum or Fegley? The answer will be a blue team player, and Halcyon up by 1 point. But what a great match are we witnessing here. I was really expecting that beforehand, but the teams are really giving everything that they have. It's so good.
This one is most certainly the most entertaining map we are going to be seeing of these two teams. Halcyon finding themselves in the lead now by 1 point. The margin is so close. And the ending has been looking so good for both teams. No team really able to get a big lead in. Despite that early ace from Halcyon, the immediate counter ace coming Piwo's way, of course, tying up the score again and making this one a really, really close score line. Piwo has to once again try.
What a round!
On all 4 players, wheel to wheel. We're halfway through the map. No one's in the lead. They're trading positions. I think it's gonna be. Let's check out the split here at the next checkpoint real quick to see what kind of pace we can expect. A 0.9 is going to be decent enough. The identity is going to be the deciding thing here, coming in just a second.
Yeah, this is like an amazing round here from the players. Fegley almost losing control. Hagram has a bit more speed into the sector. Nixotica also fumbling it there a little bit. Who's gonna get first position? It will be Fegley, as it is Nixotica flying through our screen here, and Fegley with a good winning time as well, but it will be a draw. So Halcyon with track point. Piwo at 6 points though. It's 7-6, and oh my god, this is really on knife's edge. This was such an important round, but this round will even be more important now. Hanken and Hergum, they have what it takes to get the ace across, and now Nixotica not with a good start here as well. Fegley playing out of his mind, but this round is so important.
Yeah, it's been Fegley kind of denying those points to Piwo, but Piwo is only 1 point behind the Halcyon team and can get track point here in just a moment. And we've seen how volatile some of these rounds can be and how fast and the victory or an ace can happen, and those mistakes are very, very much realistic. But Fegley is still keeping it all 4 wheels on the track. Up ahead, both Piwo players behind him. Nixotica is going to be trying to do some catch up here and is still finding himself closing that gap to Hanken and Hergum at the moment. If he can just get some wheels ahead of either or potentially even both players there, it would be great. Halcyon could be tying up the total score line here, and Hanken is going to make a mistake, making this one a bit easier. Oh no, Fegley with a mistake. Nixotica with the snipe.
Dude, Alex, what is happening here in the ending? And also Hanken is getting overtaken by Fegley. This was also so important to stay ahead, because now we have track point versus match point. This is guaranteed the last round of this map. Piwo, ace or bust it is. They could close out this match, or else we're gonna go to map number 5, and that is a mistake happening here for Hergum, as he's now very far down the line. Fegley and Nixotica on first and seconds, and well, here you go. It's really their round to lose, but Hergum comes back with a lot of speed into this sector, so don't count him out. And like, it's so many what ifs. What if I knew that the other person just made that mistakes? I would have maybe saved it, but it's so hard to tell in a high pressure situation like this. You can really see that both teams are giving everything that they have, but it's really all that matters now is an ace for Piwo, and to deny the ace to Halcyon, to at least get a second position in one of those rounds, and right now it's looking really good.
Ace or bust situation, and Piwo is still within striking distance to make that happen through the identity, depending on how it goes for Halcyon, but Halcyon only has to get a player into second place position to secure this one. Hergum is on the attack, but Fegley and Nixotica are way out of striking range for Hanken, and so it's going to be closing out here. Halcyon tying up the score line 2-2. The map picks were definitely accurate here. Either team winning all of their map picks, which means we're gonna be going on to the decider map. Let's check this one out.
Oh,
China's gonna be a good one, I think.
Yeah, Halcyon played 12 rounds on this map so far. Median looking 0.1 slower than the one from Piwo, who has played this map 52 times so far. So 52 rounds have been played here. 106.098 is the fastest time. It's very close here from the teams. Just seeing the standings. And, well, I mean, I can really just mention here Hergum with great consistent performance. Hanken with the fastest time from Piwo in the lineup, a 105.781. Sorry, I was just, the page probably has not updated, so maybe I need to give this one a quick refresh. Maybe not every match is in there for now. Whew, but it's 2-2. We were expecting this, and let's take a look how this one goes. I think both teams really deserve to win this match, but it can only be one team.
Yeah, I think this could most certainly go either team's way here. And, well, even with those stats, I have no idea who's going to be taking this one. China, although it has, I think, the easiest identity out of this map pack, it really is the rest of the map that can get you. And yeah, especially that first turn. Now, I don't expect any bug slides coming in here. This is Division 2. But
you never know.
Even then, that start is absolutely deadly. It's just so easy to go too wide there, clip the wall, acceleration penalty, and all of a sudden you're 0.5 behind and you've got no idea how to catch up. That ice slide is also tricky. Fegley falling victim to the start here as the first person and is now 0.6 behind, as I just said. So yeah, Piwo with an early lead might be able to open this up with an early ace. That would be most optimal for them. Ice slides coming in, and Halcyon has got some catching up to do.
Yeah, definitely. Nixotica also opting for a very inside ice that has no speed to work with. And yeah, you were rightfully said, it's the ending, it's not too hard to do. You can save it. We have seen Granadi and Massa doing it very, very nicely in the match beforehand, where they just saved it a lot when they know that they're just too far ahead. They just did take like maybe 3/4 of the booster, sometimes even half of the booster. And Hanken and Hergum, they're well aware that Nixotica is very far behind. So that is a beautiful start for Piwo, as Fegley struggled to find a good start here. And hand in hand, they go into the ending with good times as well. 106.2 here is the winning time, as that puts them right in front of the, let me see, the median of the teams, actually. I really want to see that. The median is a 106.744, so much faster than their median here in this particular round. And let's see if they can keep it up. Dream start for the red team.
Yeah, and, well, if this is gonna go like last game, then maybe Halcyon is gonna be coming in with a counter ace. This time, the start not quite going the way of Piwo, as Hergum's gonna be going slightly too wide, falling behind. It's not as big of a mistake as the one from, I believe, Fegley in the last round, but it's enough to put him in quite the precarious situation of fourth place position, with Hanka now having to defend the draw position, but we can still see mistakes and anything can happen. Hergum there going so low on the transition, though. Hanken still up there in the lead. Hergum going wide. Both of the Halcyon players within striking distance. We're heading towards that identity that usually doesn't really result in many overtakes, but Fegley's gonna be hitting the outside.
Yeah, and also Hergum losing the gear there, but Fegley losing even more speed with that. Hanken with a great sector there after the ice, and now we dig deep into the identity as Hergum claims third position to his name. Looking good there. Nixotica almost sliding out there. And what is he doing? He didn't make the turn. Nixotica pressing J for jump here, and he's out of this round, giving the ace as a gift to Piwo. It's looking very good for Piwo to win this map. It's a dream start, 6-0. Hergum very resilient in that round as well, not falling too far behind. It's another ace, and they only need 4 more points.
You know, this is what the kids call a speech bubble moment, no? So I'm hoping to soon have this one in my Discord favorites gifts as well. Piwo with a commanding lead here, 6-0 going their way right now. Halcyon has to find their footing here. It's been big mistakes from them, especially in those important rounds, with Hergam finding himself up there in the lead as well. Hankan with good speed, looking for that overtake onto Nexotica. We're heading towards the third section here, and it is both the Piwo players up in the lead.
Yeah, and again, the ice slide is really the bread and butter for Hergam and Hanken. Very inside exit from Nexotica and Fagly, losing them so much time, like 0.3 to maybe even 0.4 of a second. But now it is Fagly going for the attack. Hanken with a good line, but this could be the back-to-back-to-back ace here for the red team. It is Hanken with more speed, but will it be enough? The answer is a no, but still a victory puts Piwo 7 points ahead. It is 1-8. Halcyon have a huge mountain to climb, and this could be over within one round. The other maps were so close, and this one could be over in just 4 rounds here. I don't believe it. What a great showing from Hergam and Hanken. They have definitely put extensive practice into this map, and we see a first mistake happening from Fagly's side. Nexotica also a bit further behind. Piwo, they have it here, and also take a look onto the ice set now. It's so good from Team Piwo.
Yeah, this ice slide is not about going tight, it's about the exit SD you can get, and Hanken and Hergam seem to be understanding that perfectly, and you can see just how much it actually nets them on a gain here. And it seems like Piwo is trying to close out this final map, China, with a dominant performance comparable to that of Big, not on pace, but on just how much better they are than their opponents. It seems like this one's gonna be all she wrote unless there's any huge mistakes through this identity. Piwo is finding themselves in quite a big lead with much more speed, and it is both of the Halcyon players falling even further behind. 1-2 position for Piwo. They're gonna be closing it out with an ace for the win.
Wow, what a great performance from Piwo here. Amazing match, but 1-11 in the end. I definitely didn't expect that. So Hanken and Hergam are ready on China. That is for sure, but like great match from both teams, really fighting it back. Only on China it looked like Halcyon is really falling apart. But congrats to Piwo, and that was a very important match for, I think, top 5, top 6-ish position. So Piwo really claiming that place. I mean, they're quite far behind Tempo Bros, especially Onyx, Ragnarok, and Shift. Yeah. But that was a very, very important pickup.
We've got to wrap this up quick because we got the next match starting in like 2 minutes. So you're gonna be heading out, and it's gonna be G-Geek cycling in. So thank you for joining me for that cast. We're gonna be switching out very fast, and we're gonna be right back.
Bye bye.
Bye.